We got no topic this week. We got nothing. Nothing, nada, nunca, zero, goosenegg. Except we don't give financial advice.
Well, I have some stuff. So for those of you that are... We're starting over. Start over.
25.
Start over.
Go.
Start over.
Go.
Start over.
Hi all. Welcome to Windshield Time. It's Day and Arry.
What up, yo?
It's about 10 o'clock at night on Friday, September 11th.
TGIF.
It's great that it's Friday. It's a very historic day.
Yeah. Crazy historic day. 9/11. Where were you on 9/11?
I was in my Belltown condo as a single male.
Aww.
Negotiating it was a big deal. It was negotiating a 7-figure commercial real estate deal.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway.
What were you doing, Arry?
What were you doing, Arry?
Well, on 9/11, I went to work and I was supposed to work
Silence.
in the Washington Mutual Tower here. And I got into the elevator shaft, and then the guy opened the elevator and he's like, no, you gotta go back home. I was like, what? It's like, no work today. Then I went back home, turned on the TV, and I saw the World Trade Centers going down. And I thought it was a movie. I was like, is that real? Is this fake news or is this real news? Yeah. And then, like a few months prior, I had actually been supposed to be working in World Trade Center too, like I carpenter, as my first job. And I didn't. I came to Seattle instead. And
Why'd you come to Seattle? Why'd you come to Seattle? I'm not sure if you heard me that time.
I followed a boy, but I've upgraded since. All right.
Upgraded substantially.
So thank you for joining us. For those of you that are new to Windshield Time.
This is show number 105, September 11th, 2020. Thank you for joining us again.
And for
COVID-19 pandemic show
me.
number 25. I'm sorry. What's Windshield Time?
For those of you that are new to joining us, Windshield Time is a podcast.
What's Windshield Time?
Well, Windshield Time, for those of you that are new to joining us, it's a podcast and also YouTube show now. And we talk about money and Bitcoin. We try to make it very simple and fun formational.
I am Luggage Donkey in Twitter.
And I'm Arry in Seattle on Twitter.
We got no topic this week. We got nothing. Nothing, nada, nunca, zero, goosenegg. Except we don't give financial advice.
Well, I have some stuff.
No. Yeah. You can definitely have some stuff, yeah.
All right. Well, the Washington State Blockchain Working Group, we're still moving forward. If you're interested, just ping us, ping myself or Nick Ellingson. It's Nick at washingtontechnology.org or Arry at washingtontechnology.org. We meet monthly, and so today we met talking about blockchain use cases and applications working with government. We have the Secretary of State at the table, and so it's been a really...
Secretary of Washington State?
Yeah.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really awesome, because when we were doing all the testimonials and working on the bill, which ultimately did not pass because, COVID hit and everything got vetoed. Bad timing. Secretary of State actually really proactively reached out and said they wanted to be involved, and so we decided to move forward with them in talking about conversations on what are the things that they need solved, what sort of problems they're faced with. And then we're also talking to several city and municipal governments, City of Bellevue being one of them, of course, and we think, we're going to do like a city-state type of hybrid approach and see where we end up in terms of blockchain use cases. Ta-da!
Outstanding.
And then we have one more blockchain working group, which is around the crypto instance, looking at policies and figuring out what is the ideal state we want for Washington State. And so we're working with DFI, aka the Department of Financial Institutions, which is sort of like our state's SEC. And so that's just starting.
What is
right
SEC?
Now. I don't know, what does it stand for?
Securities and Exchange Commission.
That's right, yeah.
All right. So they're going to work with the SEC. It's like sort of like our SEC
WTIA.
and...
To be determined. We're still very early in that process as well. But I'll give you updates anytime there's an update. And how about we do some Satoshi math first?
I was just going to say, let's do some Satoshi math.
What's the price of Bitcoin at today?
So it's at approximately $10,400.
And so I actually started a AMA type of thing weekly on Fridays. If you're interested, just let me know.
Very intimate.
Very intimate. And it's a bunch of people that are
Private.
interested in Bitcoin or crypto. And they just wanted to ask questions. And I was like, I'll be free. You can ask me whatever. And so one of the ladies asked, Bitcoin is so expensive. It's nearly like $11,000, $12,000. I can't afford that. And I said, well, did you know you can buy parts of Bitcoin? You can buy fractional bits of Bitcoin. You know there are 100 pennies in every $1 US. And yes, you can have 1 penny. You can have 50 cents. You can have 80 cents. Same thing with Bitcoin. In Bitcoin, there are 100 million satoshis, similar to pennies, but there are 100 million of them.
8 decimal places it goes out to.
Yeah, and so you can actually have portions of Bitcoin. You can own $1 worth of Bitcoin. You can have $10 worth of Bitcoin. You can have $1,000 of Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. And so to do the Satoshi math, figuring out how many satoshis can you get with $1 US, what you do is divide 1, which represents $1 US, and you divide it by 0.00010,400, which equals, drumroll,
10,000. Oh man, no.
9,600
satoshis per dirty US fiat dollar.
And so you can put in buy $1 worth of Bitcoin and get 9,600 satoshis. And so there you have it. That's some Satoshi math. I thought it was so hard in the beginning. It took me a really, really long time. We were like a year and a half in.
A year.
A little over a year on this. And now I get it. But it's not that hard once you understand the math, which is why we do it on every show.
It's a couple of mass transactions and it's not so bad. Thank you to the WTIA for continually sponsoring this show. And they do a lot of good for the local, regional community. So thank you very much for the sponsorship.
Yes, the Washington Technology Industry Association, representing over 1,100 technology companies in the Pacific Northwest, creating one collective voice when it comes to working with and educating policymakers, investors, and innovators. And they also like do some cool group buying stuff, like with 401ks, health benefits, stuff like that. So if you're ever interested, check them out, washingtontechnology.org.
Yep. Thank you, WTIA. Really, really appreciate it. All right. So being that we basically I don't have anything this week because we did the show last week with Atomo Coffee and the editing experience on that was extensive and lengthy. And so please go check that show out. We discussed a lot of really interesting issues with respect to the environment, money.
I didn't even know that you could actually make coffee without the bean. So that was interesting. And then when we tasted it, it was really, really interesting too. It was like the non-offensive flavored coffees or coffees were non-offensive to me that were not coffee from the coffee bean. Coffee bean really doesn't taste good.
Depends on how you roast it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They already had some really interesting reactions to it. We are not journalists, by the way. Just that one little caveat. This is categorized as entertainment because
we just share because we care.
We have a lot of opinions too.
Something like that.
Shout out to Matty Sats at Matthew Ryan Case at Twitter. Please go follow him. Local, Seattle, and nationwide DJ at iHeart Radio. Thanks for doing the disclaimers for us. Really appreciate it. And then I think one of the last things is, hey, what's up with that big orange screen behind you? I'm glad you asked. Why that big orange screen is back there?
Yeah, why is the orange? Because it represents the sky lately, and you can't breathe out there. I think the air quality index is up to like almost 200 here in Seattle today. Like, you can't even go out.
It's the worst
Ever.
Worst air quality in Seattle this year, and I think ever.
Ever.
Although we're not journalists, I'm pretty sure ever, which is bad.
No, and now when you think of quarantine, like, we are all under house arrest right now because it's really hard to go out. We can't send the kids to go running outside. We had our last nice sunny day today too. It was like the last 80-degree weather until like all 70s starting tomorrow, like low 70s and cold and raining.
I'm okay with cooler weather, a little bit more
I know, but
wet.
we didn't get to say goodbye to the summer, you know.
Bye bye.
There's
And also, I like the bright colors because, you know, as I'm toiling away in the dungeon area here in my day job, trying to do business development, it's nice to have a little bit of bright colors in order to, you know, try to find some motivation in all the oceans of rejection that I face.
I can be your motivation.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Oh. I joined Swan Bitcoin. So if you want to participate in a very interesting sort of cost basis for stacking sats, which is the meme that I show in the beginning of every show with the lentil. What are you doing?
Stacking sats.
Swan Bitcoin.
This sounds really complicated. Like, is it easy to use? They're supposed to be like the new Coinbase, right? So usually Coinbase is the starter application that a lot of people, especially in 2017, 18, 19, use to first enter the cryptocurrency market and buy their first bits of Bitcoin. But apparently Swan is the new thing. But they sound scary to me.
They're new,
Mm-hmm.
so in the fact that they're a little bit new, and it might be scary because of that, but I think that it just takes a lot of consumer education before people get truly comfortable with the way that they are operating their business. And so in my back pocket, I have 3 pretty credible, strong recommendations on the places where you should go to buy Bitcoin. And so I've been giving that advice, those recommendations, opinions, not financial advice, opinions on the 3 locations to go. And so we have been getting more people inquire with us about where to go and what to do and what it is. And so happy to, you know, help people and hold hands in the journey to figure out where to, how to, and what to do with Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, a lady asked me this morning too, like, who's the CEO of Bitcoin? What's your interest? Are you being paid by Bitcoin? And I said, no, there's no CEO of Bitcoin. A lot of people don't realize there's no CEO of Bitcoin. There's no
CEO.
government. No one runs it, no employees, nothing. There's no headquarters. It's completely decentralized. And so she's like, oh really? Then how are you getting paid by the Bitcoin organization to help others? And I was like, no, the Bitcoin there's no Bitcoin organization.
We're part of the unpaid marketing department of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is everyone and no one. It's like Fight Club. Except all we do is talk about Bitcoin.
And then she's like, well, why are you helping me? Why are you spending the time to help us? I'm like, well, you know, other people should know about it. Not just people that have the time to go and read all these books and white papers and do all this research to figure this out. Everyone should get to know this. And so I'm here to help make it as easy as possible because, you know, I'm definitely not as technical as they, but I thought... Yeah, so there's no CEO.
So refreshing.
Of Bitcoin. It's completely decentralized. No sovereign authority over Bitcoin. No employees. Yep.
Oh, I was really, really tickled and pleased. Marked off a bucket list item because I had a tweet retweeted by Travis Kling. So shout out to Ikigai and Anthony Epman and Travis Kling. Full disclosure, we are LPs with them, but I did a little what is Bitcoin kind of a thing, and I said that it's basically a choose your own adventure kind of investment asset, and so it was a fun little experience to have. So yeah,
cool.
All right, thanks a lot, y'all. Thank you to the WTIA again for the continued sponsorship, and shout out to Arry for doing for initiating the AMA every week. And I think that's a really nice, semi-private, informative way to ask questions about what is money, what is software, what is Bitcoin, what is the future of money. And I don't have time for that. And so Arry has tons and tons of time to talk to people. So, give us a shout out. Arry in Seattle.
I'm here. You can ask all the dumb questions, and if
No. There are no dumb questions. Only dumb question.
There's no dumb questions.
The only dumb question is the unasked question.
And if I don't know, I will find someone that does know. I'll ask Day. I'll find people on the council. So don't be shy about asking any question, even if you think it's dumb. It's surely not.
There are no dumb questions, except the unasked question. That is a dumb question.
Don't suffer in silence.
Do not suffer in silence. Never suffer in silence. We're a community, and even though we're in lockdown because of the pandemic, you should still reach out to people. Be as socially close as you possibly can. And thank you for your time. Be nice, y'all.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share. Together we rise. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Welcome to Windshield time, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. This podcast is non-technical, fun, informative way to learn about money, Bitcoin, blockchains, crypto, and digital assets for busy parents and working folks who are curious about these new technologies. Day, Arry, and their guests talk about these evolutionary systems of money and what they do, y'all. Because what part of your life does money not touch? This podcast is not financial advice, and your reactions are your total and complete responsibility, y'all. Now, thanks again, and enjoy the show.
You have to project and talk out loud so that the camera can see you and the camera can hear you. How many minutes was that monstrosity? Oh God, 20 minutes.
No, it's more like 15.